So, Councilman Robert Cornegy, it's so good to see you out here today at the kickoff for your campaign for Brooklyn Borough President. And I wanted to ask you, now that the city is going to change politically, we're going to have, I think our city council will change about 60% of its members.
Absolutely.
And we'll have a new borough president, a new mayor. Tell me what possibilities you think will happen going forward policy-wise for the city.
Well, first of all, I think this is an excellent opportunity for us to have new leadership, especially coming out of a pandemic. We've had a tremendous economic downturn. The pandemic has exacerbated every single inequity that we have in the city. So leadership should be bold and envisioned, but also should have experience. So it's the first time that there's a balance necessary to new leadership. So while we want new leadership, and some people are not happy with what the administration has produced, some people are looking forward for a vision that will produce more jobs, more affordable housing, more safety, and a public safety plan that makes us all safe with a 200% uptick in gun violence and domestic violence in the city. So there's a reasonable expectation that new blood and new visions are necessary, coupled though with some experience. So it's kind of a nuanced thing that I think people are looking for, and I hope that they can articulate it at the polls on June 22nd.
Now, this particular election is going to be ranked choice voting is going to be the process by which this election will be decided. Do you subscribe to the notion that in ranked choice voting, it should be less contentious because each candidate would like to be ranked second with their opponent's supporters?
So that's what I've been told. However, that hasn't been my experience. So some people are saying that it's less contentious. However, I've heard from various candidates in the race attacks directed at me personally. So I don't know. I haven't had that experience. I've been waiting for the time when we would have an opportunity to everybody just put forward their platform, as opposed to, speaking negatively about other people's campaigns. We were sold a bill of goods that ranked choice voting would produce that, a more cohesive and a more friendly kind of environment. And that, for me personally, as a candidate, that hasn't been the case.
So now, when people say that they will rank their candidate in all 5 spots, in effect, what that'll do is that'll defeat the purpose of ranked choice voting, and then there won't be a threshold of 50%.
Right.
So what are your thought patterns around that notion?
So people had me confused about what I really wanted, and I gotta be honest. People thought I was opposed to ranked choice voting. I'm not opposed to ranked choice voting. I'm opposed to the education process that has gone into ranked choice voting. If you poll people in my community, which is Bedford-Stuyvesant and Crown Heights, 90% of them don't even know what ranked choice voting is, so they've not been educated properly. I think that is grounds for possibly voter disenfranchisement. So an entire new process went in during a pandemic and was not extended so that people could be educated properly. It's said now that the mayor has decided to kick in $15 million to educate people about ranked choice voting with 5 weeks left in the election. In other places, San Francisco and places like that, the process took 3 years.
Right.
Before it was instituted. 3 years of solid education, 3 years of trial and error, and we just didn't do that. And so I think any new process that potentially engages new voters and brings out the opportunity for people to get engaged in the democratic process is a process that I subscribe to. I just believe that there should have been, and there should be, a greater commitment to educating people. When 5 weeks out, 9 out of 10 people have no idea what ranked choice voting is, and 7 out of 10 people have never even heard of it. That, to me, kind of speaks towards potential for voter disenfranchisement.
I know you're real busy today, but my final question is, in the past, in this particular office that you're running for, a person, let's say like Marty Markowitz, who was sort of the master of outreach, and who Eric Adams pretty much made the borough office the people's house. What are your plans for the Brooklyn Borough President's office going forward?
So that's a great question. The thing that I love about the Brooklyn Borough President's office is it's such an undefined role that the person who occupies the leadership seat in that house gets to bring their level of acumen to the role. So in the past, Marty was characterized as being the biggest cheerleader. He was way more than that. He actually scoured the entire world to bring back emerging industries to create jobs. So I know, I've been to Taiwan, and the only thing they talk about in Taiwan is Marty Markowitz.
Yeah.
Because he had been there, he had looked at what their engineering and what their technology process was and sought to bring it back. Eric has focused a lot around health, especially healthy eating, especially a plant-based diet, to make us as Brooklynites the healthiest borough in the world. I get to, as the current chair of housing and buildings and the past chair of small business, get to bring those two very important pillars for recovery and resiliency to the Borough President's office, and for that I'm excited. So my vision centers around job creation, undergirding our small businesses by giving them access to capital and technical assistance, and making sure that we have true affordability by leveraging not only the $100 million that's in the Borough President's Office for capital funding, but the powers around zoning and land use. That three-pillar stool can give us exactly what we need to get affordability. In partnership with responsible developers, we can get a different degree of affordability than we've seen in the past. So my vision, again, centers around putting hardworking Brooklynites back on a pathway to success through job creation, and also giving them stability by having affordable housing.
Councilman Cornegy, thank you so very much for your time. All the best in your campaign, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.